Beijing, ancient capital, modern metropolis, the home of emperors and the heart of a great cultural tradition. Beijing, old and sedate, young and dynamic, a modern open city on the fast track to reinventing itself. Beijing, where two worlds mingle. Being Beijing is experiencing the life, seeing the sights, sampling the culture. That's being Beijing.
Beijing is a cultural haven that's fast becoming one of the top international cities to be in. Join me as we get in on the action and explore the new in this ancient city. Welcome to Travelogue. I'm Michelle Lean. Beijing is the new favored commercial hub for global corporations, and with the fast-paced changes and growth happening to this new kid on the block, every day feels like you're walking through a different city. Life moves quickly around here, so I've strapped on my walking shoes ready to join the 9 million people who live here on a trek through this urban jungle. It can get pretty crowded, but hey, I'd like to think the more the merrier. In this giant melting pot of old and new, where else would I start but at a place that combines the concrete with the grains of creativity? You can't always have the weather you anticipate. But when people come to Beijing looking for historical and cultural experience, they're never disappointed. So what most people aren't aware of is the other side of this ancient city, the side that rivals even the most cosmopolitan playground. Besides being the commercial center of the city, the Chaoyang district is also known for its artistic side. So we take a drive up north, and about 20 kilometers away from the corporate world, we arrive at a place that's more my speed, the 798 district, a once industrial area that is now home to artists. But more than just a gallery space, it's also the workplace of one of Beijing's favorite high-end fashion magazines. The place where page after page of this monthly publication is constructed before it hits the newsstands. From old military factories, 798 quickly became the art space it is today, but only because of the creative types that set up home here, artists, designers, and creative offices. This place, it just smells of creativity. The iLook office is just one of the many office spaces in this area for the artistically inclined. Off we go in search of more. 798 is Beijing's version of New York Soho, a place that brings together contemporary art, architecture, and culture set in Bauhaus-style spaces. I've noticed that a lot of the art here draws its influence from the Cultural Revolution. But there's more to 798 than art inspired by the Cultural Revolution. Installations, paintings, life-size mesh-wired molds of human forms. You'll see different mediums splashed across different galleries. So take your time and explore. But don't just limit yourself to 798. There's a lively art scene spread across the whole of Beijing. Entry to most of the galleries is free, but there is a chance that your wallet may come out a tad lighter for your purchases. For now, though, I think I'll just settle for the postcard version. The postcards retail from 5 to 15 RMB, and that's not a lot to spend for a miniature print version and a whole lot of inspiration. There's nothing like being outside on a rainy day. Wonder if he needs a little shade too. Well, I certainly do. Off to another gallery we go. Architecture and purses don't normally have much in common. But when there are skyscraper-sized bags in sight, women will always flock to them. Your eyes away from the artwork to the ceilings of the galleries, you'll see that on its own, the space itself is art. In the Bauhaus style, form follows function, and as a result, you'll have large indoor spaces designed to let the maximum amount of natural light in. It's an ideal choice for an art space. Many photographers have chosen 798 as the space to display their works. You'll see black and white and colored prints placed strategically on the brick white walls. The contrast is just spectacular. Internationally acclaimed photojournalist Marc Ribot even has a gallery here. Since 1957, the French photographer has spent many years documenting the life and changes in China and capturing some of the most important moments in Chinese history. If you want a glimpse of the history of the city, a walk through his gallery will give you an insight that rivals even most history books. I love his photos. A signed print can cost anywhere from 10 to 20,000 RMB, and I think it's worth every penny. Walking around 798, you'll see charming old fixtures and fittings, the remains of its military factory. Most of it is closed off, but you can always take a sneak peek. You'll be spoilt for choice with the number of galleries you can visit, so if you're an art buff, I suggest you spend an entire day here, or two if you like. Walking around 798 just makes me want to pick up a paintbrush, pick up some clay, and just create. Right next to 798, you'll find the Industrial Park 751. That's now being used as an event space. With a backdrop of heavy machinery and steel, it's been the scene of some of the most highly publicized events in the city. To get to 798 or 751, take bus 915, 918, or 934 from Dongzhimen Station to Dashanzi, then head north to Jiaoshanqiaolu, stopping at the second pedestrian overpass. There, look out for two orange-pink apartments on the east side of the road. You'll see a really small security entrance, but there will be a sign marking the way in. While most of the galleries close before 6 p.m., the art district remains open until 9. Most people don't even think about coming to 798 once the galleries are closed, but it's the only time where you'll feel the ghosts of the illustrious past and the inspiration of a new age art space. And the night is still young. I'm looking for lights, camera, and action, so we're heading to Liangmaqiaolu in Yurianjie to catch the latest flicks on the big screen. The Maple Drive-In is the first drive-in cinema in Beijing, and for 100 RMB per car, full of up to 5 people, it's one of the cheapest movie-going experiences in the city. Unlike most cinemas, you're not just limited to one movie. Entry into the drive-in will allow you the choice of 4 movies, if your eyes can take the strain. The drive-in opens at 7:30 p.m. and shuts at 5 a.m. daily. That's a lot of time for the guys to work on their yawn, stretch, and arm over the shoulder routine. And yes, most of us girls do know about it. Most people in Beijing don't know about the Maple Drive-In Cinema. But how about that? Nostalgic movie-going experience right in a modern city. I'm here just for the novelty of watching Hollywood's best dubbed in Chinese. Back to the movies. I watched one too many movies last night, and now I'm going to need something strong, something fierce, something like this to wake me up. If you're looking for something that's going to cause a big splash among the kids and the older kids, there's only one place to come, and that's the Beijing Happy Valley Amusement Park. It is humongous. Watch out! Sounds pretty amazing stuff, but I'll bet it's more fun from up there. Located in the southeast corner on the 4th Ring Road in the Chaoyang district, Happy Valley is Beijing's answer to Disneyland. With rides galore, remember to strap yourself in tight now. Yes, 1, 2, 3. Get ready to be tossed around like fruit in a blender. There's plenty of entertainment here, even if you're not up for the big scary ride. I'm not sure this guy understood that he was supposed to be a statue, though. Oh well, at least he makes for a good photo. I can't think of a better way to test your endurance in holding your food down after lunch than being thrown up and down at varying speeds on a giant pole. If you prefer to go up slowly and drop quickly, possibly wetting your pants in the process, pick one side of the line. But if you prefer to get it over and done with quickly, there's always the other alternative. Get thrown in the air at maximum velocity and fall slowly. If you haven't already thrown up by then, I suggest you try both. Remember the laws of gravity? What goes up must always come down. Or sometimes it's just forced on you. Who would have thought that I would be sitting in the middle of a sombrero in central Beijing? I mean, the thing about amusement parks is that it's so fun and whimsical that it inspires creativity. Okay, so it's a little childish, but come on, who doesn't remember loving merry-go-rounds? Hee-haw! Most of Beijing youngsters drag their parents here over weekends, so expect noise, and a lot of it. And really, you wouldn't have it any other way. I know I wouldn't. To get to Happy Valley, take the subway to Dalonglu Station. From there, take bus number 31 to South Haofengqiao Station. Happy Valley is open from 8:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. at weekends, so make sure you get there early before the hordes of people arrive and the line starts spiraling around. An all-inclusive ticket into the park costs 160 RMB during the peak season of April to mid-November and 120 during the rest of the year. A small price to pay for the entertainment they have in store for you. And if you're not one for walking, you can even hire a little electric-powered cart. Though I generally prefer the old-fashioned method of putting one foot in front of the other and repeating. Okay, I've had enough of being tossed around in a fantasy-filled land. It's time to head back to the real world. Beijing's brand new central business district, centered in the Guomao area, is home to a variety of corporate regional headquarters, shopping precincts, and high-end housing. The city's development has been vast and rapid, but buildings aside, it's also quickly becoming a cultural melting pot. That's not to say that if you're a foreigner, you won't be stared at. You shouldn't be offended though. Just take it as your 15 minutes of fame. After all, many of the locals are just curious about where you're from, what you're doing in Beijing, and how much you like it. And you won't find more curious locals willing to have a chat than at the silk market. The Silk Street Market is located next to the China World Trade Center on Jianguomen Y. It's served by Line 1 of the Beijing subway system with a direct link from Yong'anli Station into the basement of the market. It opens from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and houses over 1,700 vendors. So I'd be amazed if you couldn't find at least one item you wanted to buy in here. The Silk Street Market isn't a shopping mall, it's a market. And as with all markets, the first rule is always to bargain.
7? No, have 7. Only, two sizes. Yeah, 2 sizes.
The low floors can get a little crowded, and at times, the staff a little pushy. But the upper floors will give you a far more pleasant and peaceful shopping experience. And here, you'll also find the Miniature Silk Museum. Here you'll see how silk is made, from the raw form to the finished product. And after all, that's what Silk Street is known for, their silk. One of the first shopping stops for most tourists in Beijing is the Silk Street Market. I hear that it used to be a street full of vendors, but they've now moved to a 6-story building. Talk about a shopping haven. You can still get the same wares though, from traditional Chinese goods to locally produced clothing, bags, accessories, and even tailored clothing. I love it. But you know what I'm most surprised about? How many foreign languages the sales staff can speak.
식탁에 걸쭉돼 있고요. 이거는 가격이 싼 거고요. 이건 얼마인데요? 450원. 이거는 180원. 이거는 220원.
The staff here may speak many foreign languages, but if you can, feel free to converse with them in Chinese. A sale in any language is still a sale.
Okay? Yes.
Now there's one language that most people understand. Numbers. Don't be surprised if the vendor pulls out a calculator and types in his asking price. Keep in mind though, that you should never accept the initial price. Bargain and type back the amount you want to pay. The original Silk Alley was located just up the road on Xiushui Dongjie, southeast of Ritang Park in Beijing's first embassy district. The city now has 3 main embassy districts, of which 2 are located in Chaoyang. And you'll find most of the embassies on beautiful, peaceful, tree-lined streets. So even if you don't require the services of your home consulate, it's a nice area just to stroll around in. And just a short walk away is our next stop, Sanlitun. Located in the eastern part of the city and still in Chaoyang district, Sanlitun is one of the most popular and oldest bar streets in Beijing. It's a popular weekend hangout for the expat community, foreign travelers, and younger locals. And there's no sign of that popularity waning, especially with the opening of the village, an all-encompassing 19-building development with the first Apple store in China and the largest Adidas store in the world. It's the place you go for afternoon drinks, for an al fresco lunch, and you'll find some of the best European restaurants in the city here, from fine dining to the ever-safe chip shop. It might get a little bit rowdy at night, but in the afternoons, it's a safe haven for relaxing and soaking in some you time, helped along by the cheap beer that ranges from 10 to 20 RMB. But from the old, we head to one of the newest and most popular restaurant bars in town. Song is located in the basement of the shopping precinct, The Place, on Guanghua Lu, a short 20-minute cab ride away from Sanlitun. It's known for its excellent bar service.
It's 42 vodka martini, but I use a little Glenfiddich single malt.
After a quick drink and a chat with the manager Sunny, he suggests that I move up to a table to enjoy a taste of their delectable fusion menu. And I'm never one to say no to food. From up here, I get a better view of the contemporary Chinese design space that draws inspiration from Chinese rice fields.
Most international companies are based in the CBD area, and it's also where you'll find food from all around the globe. Some are easily accessible, but others lie hidden in the heart of the city. But it's all worth the hunt. Here comes my food. Looks good.
And it tastes just as good. The nightlife in Beijing moves as quickly as the city. New bars spring up in the blink of an eye, but the old cheesy bars with live bands still remain. So you can take your pick, whether you prefer the friendly, casual pubs or the more upmarket establishments. There's a range of bars here, so take a walk around, see what you like before you decide. Beijing has become the destination of choice for frolicking fashionistas, and it's the new party central in China. Models, socialites, and even mere travel hosts know that once the big parties come into town, the city has made it. And where the models flock, the people follow. If all the world's a stage, Beijing is China's runway.
We love Travelogue! We love CCTV!
Good to have Travelogue here at Zeta Bar.
We love Travelogue!
The city plays host to some of the most internationally acclaimed DJs, and the music plays all night long. Flashing lights, air kisses, a lot of good conversation. And that's what a great party is about in this city. You might get to see some of China's elite here, but the point is, everyone is here to be seen. Door cover can range anywhere from 50 to 200 RMB, depending on the event.